Good afternoon everybody, you join us once again here at Sprinter Van Conversions. Thanks so much for joining us here, and we are on episode number 4 now I think of this blue van conversion, and it's a really exciting episode to come up. Oh yes, welcome back to the channel everybody. If you're not familiar with what we're up to these days here at Sprinter Van Conversions / Lindy Vanna HQ, then we are converting a 2010 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter medium wheelbase into a gorgeous home on wheels. If you want to know more about it, or you want to see the previous episodes of this conversion, then click up here on the playlist and you should be able to find them. But in today's episode, we are going to be installing our side flares. So what are the flares? Well, we've got them on our black Sprinter and they've been absolutely fantastic. It basically means that you can sleep across the back of the van widthways instead of having your full-size double bed lengthways in the van. Now this saves you about ½ a metre in the length of your van, which means that we were able to get a full-size double sofa in our black Sprinter, which we lived in for 6 months last year, and that was just so comfortable, it just made it perfect. The internal length is 6'7" from pod to pod, so yeah, more than enough space for someone like me that's 6 foot to sleep absolutely comfortably on a full-size mattress. Yeah, so now I've covered all of the carpeting in plastic so I don't get little metal shards everywhere. I'm now going to go around the perimeter of the aperture that I'm going to be cutting out with this center punch. It's super simple little tool, it only costs a couple of pounds, but you can punch through from this side of the van, follow the line of the panel all the way around the edge, and then on the other side you have a little line of little dots that you can join up with a Sharpie, and then you've got your perfect line to cut around with your jigsaw. This is the way that I've done it in the last sort of maybe 10 or so windows that I've installed, and it's been the best method by far that I've found anyway. So the pods we went for are from a company called A2B Conversions, and it's run by a chap called Tony, super helpful guy from up north in England, and he hand delivers all of the flares to you in person himself. We used these flares on our last van, so we decided to use them on this van because they've been absolutely fantastic, and I'll leave a link to his website in the description below. And disclaimer alert, Tony's not really sponsoring this video, but he did give us a small discount on our flares, and we said that we would feature his flares in this video. So go and check out his flares. A2B Conversions, fantastic service, fantastic flares. Go and check them out for yourself. One thing I'll just mention is it's super important to tape over the gap between the bodywork and the channel for the roller for the sliding door. So whichever side you're cutting out, if you've got a channel for the sliding door like this, then make sure that you tape up the gap between the bodywork and the channel. You do not want bits of swarf getting down in the middle and then rusting from within the gap between the bodywork and the channel. Okay, well, I'm all prepped now, ready to start cutting some holes in the van, and it's become really overcast. It's still quite bright, but there's a lot of clouds in the sky. I just checked the weather forecast, and it says it's going to rain shortly, unfortunately, and I'm getting really bunged up. I think I've got hay fever coming along. I get it really bad every year, but yeah, so maybe some rain would be welcome to settle the pollen. But anyway, I'm all prepped and ready to go. I was just about to stick the drill bit in the drill and start drilling holes and cutting out the apertures for the flares, but I think I'm going to hold off until after this rain, because it says it's going to be 80% chance of rain for 1 hour only, so maybe it will just have a downpour and then we'll be done. Maybe I'll have to carry on with the flares tomorrow, but anyway, it's all prepped, ready to go. Yeah, let's just wait and see what this weather does. Panic over, crisis is averted. We just had to take Basie to the vet, or I should say Gabi took Basie to the vet. And it's quite fortunate that there's a vet right next to the groomers, because the groomers cut Basie's little willy, so that was sad. I was very squinting a lot when when I got told. But anyway, we're back on the van today and we are in flare mode. So yeah, earlier on today I've been cutting out the holes for the flares and prepping the edge of the metal for the flares to go on. I did the obviously cut out, I've cleaned up the bodywork around, I've keyed it up a little bit with a bit of sandpaper so the adhesive sticks really well, and now the next job is to prime the edges with some black primer before I prime the flares themselves. So windy. Does that look like it's going in?
The colour's a good match.
Yeah. It's blooming wonderful from inside.
Blooming wonderful.
Blooming. Oh, blooming. It is a good colour match, isn't it?
It's a great colour match. It looks like it was all sprayed together. Looking good.
Hello.
Hello. What's she taking photos?
She's filming. We've got a YouTube channel.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay. Bless her.
Okay, finally pods are in. Both of them are done. They're looking really good. I'm really happy with the finish on them. Much better than on the black van, but you know, I learned on the black van, and now, yeah, the blue ones are installed perfectly. One thing that I would advise is when you apply the sealant, the bonding, that you put it to the inside edge of this lip here. So if you see this lip, I would recommend putting the bonding on this side of the lip. Hope that's in focus. Can you see that? Rather than the outside edge, put it on the inside edge, and then you won't get any sealant coming out around the edge all the way around. Yeah, so I'll leave this tape on there overnight just to make sure that, excuse me, just to make sure that they're not going to go anywhere, that you don't want them to drop under their own weight. But the sealant is so tacky, it's, yeah, really bonded in there well. Link is in the description below to go and get your flares. Highly recommend. Really good customer service and yeah, really good flares. Well, today's the next day, guys. It is Saturday today and I'm having the day off, but I couldn't resist to come out and check the flares because we've had a lot of rain, and it is with my great pleasure that I'm able to report there are no leaks in these pods. So yeah, what a relief, what a complete relief. So in the last set of pods that I installed, there was a bit of pooling of water along this bottom edge on both flares, and I actually had to go around the outside edge with a bead of silicone, and that sealed them up. But these ones are totally dry and I'm super thankful. Such a relief. Ah, that's so good. Such a relief. That means I can get on with lining the flares with with the insulation and the four-way stretch material, and yeah, things should really start motoring on now in this van conversion. Super happy. Anyway, yes, so on that bombshell, guys, thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to like the video. It would be sick if you can subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Over and out.